Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to the segment of Khoj Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. The recitation today is from Wadhans Mahalla Tija. We continue with this particular rag, and the composition is of the third Nanak, Kur Amar Das. The first stanza, Wadhans Mahalla Tija, e man Meria Ava Gaun Sansar hai, ante sach nibeda Ram. आपे सच्चा बख्श लए, फिर होए न फेरा राम. फिर होए न फेरा, अंते सच नबेड़ा, गुरमुख मिले वडियाई. साचे रंग राते, सहजे माते, सहजे रहे समाई. सच्चा मन पाया, सच वसाया, शब्दे रते अंत नबेड़ा. नानक नाम रते से सच समाणे, बहुर ना पवजल फेरा. So the verse is centering around the subject of the temporariness of existence. The Guru addresses the mind and says, this world is a place of coming and going. Ava Gaun Sansar hai, ante sach nibeda Ram. In the end, truth alone prevails, meaning the world is constantly changing, and the self, the creator, is that unchanging self behind the world that is constantly changing. So in other words, if you recall the previous Shabad, we talked about the fact that we are also delusional in that we are caught up with this illusion. So the illusion is that we are trying to impose a sense of permanence to what is impermanent, and therein lies the root of all existential angst and anxiety. And it is this illusion that the Guru seeks to break for us, liberation from this cycle, this illusion of coming and going, because in fact there is no coming and going. So how do we break this illusion? How do we liberate ourselves from this? That is possible, he says, only through grace and forgiveness. Aape sacha bakhsh laye. If it is so disposed and bestows its grace, phir na hoi phera Ram, then one is freed. And once freed, there is no return. Phir hoi na phera. Then you do not get trapped into this illusory cycle again. But it's the self that will determine when that final outcome happens. And the one who follows the Guru's wisdom attains to the glory of that wisdom. Gurmukh mile vadiyai. So essentially, you break this cycle through the assimilation of wisdom, of self-knowledge, of understanding who you really are in relation to this universe around you. Living in awareness of that truth. In the second verse, the theme continues. Maya moh sab baral hai, duje pae khwai Ram. Mata pita sab het hai, hete palchai Ram. Hete palchai purab kamai. मेट न सकै कोई, जिन सृष्ट साजी सो कर वेखै, तिस जेवड़ अवर न कोई. मन मुखयंदा तप तप खपै, बिन सबदै सांत न आई। नानक बिन नामे सब कोई भूला, माया मोह खोई. So again, the theme of attachment. The delusion of worldly attachment, trying to hang on to something that is not going to endure. So the world is like ash. Maya moh sab baral hai. Just as wood turns to ash, all material possessions, relationships, desires, no matter how grand they might appear, eventually fade away. And if you are stuck in this duality is you see the objective world as separate from yourself, you're lost in delusion. It speaks about the attachment and love of parents and family. Mata, pita, sab het hai. Attachment, love is strong. But even that attachment entangles the mind. Hete palchai ram. So how does this come about? Being trapped in this attachment is a result of past conditioning. Hete palchai purav kamai. What you've been conditioned to believe. And repetition just makes that conditioning stronger and stronger. And this conditioning cannot be undone by anybody else. Mirtana sake koi. This can be read in two ways. One, that no one else other than you can decondition yourself, or rare is the person who does decondition what are established patterns of behavior. We all know how difficult it is to break a pattern of behavior. So it is a rare individual who recognizes or realizes that the designer of this world, Jin Srishta Saji, alone is the master, so karvek hai, and that it is incomparable. This Jevad Avar na koi. It is precisely this realization that escapes the egoic mind. Manamukha anda tap tap kappe. Because it is blind to wisdom, it burns in suffering. So without the Guru's wisdom, bin sabad-a-day, there is no peace. The third verse, Eh jag jalta dekh ke bhaj paye har saranai ram, ardas kari gur pure aage, rakh levo deh vadiyai ram. रख लेवो सरनाई हर नाम वडाई तुद जेवड़ अवर न दाता सेवा लागे सेवड़ भागे जुग जुग एको जाता जत सत संजम कर्म कमावै बिन गुर गत नहीं पाई नानक तिसनो शब्द बुझाए जो जाए पवे हर सरनाई. So the Guru says that seeing this world burn in the fire of desires, of conflict and illusion, ye jag jalta dekh ke, those who are wise seek refuge in the inner sanctuary of the self. Bhaj paye har saranai. They escape it through wisdom. They petition. How do you do this? You petition. You plead with the Pura Guru, the perfect enlightener. Ardas kari Guru Pure Aage. And what do you pray for? For the protection of wisdom. You ask for wisdom. Rakh levo devadiyai. Rakh lo, protect me with wisdom. Please provide me the sanctuary of your wisdom. Rakh levo saranai har naam vadai. For I know not of another benefactor as great as you are. Tud jevad avar nadata. So the lesson here also is that we are not to seek this wisdom from another human, but to go within. Another human can be a mentor, can be a guide, but eventually the enlightener is within you. So you have to learn from the mentor how to move within. And the Guru comments on the need for a Guru by saying, because this is the Guru's way, the way of wisdom, the way of knowledge, essentially. That is the Guru's way. So no matter how much self-discipline and good deeds one practices, jat sat sanjam, karma kamave, religious ritual essentially, without Guru wisdom, one cannot discern the self within. We wouldn't know how to go within. So take refuge in the self. And the fourth and concluding stanza, Jo har mati de sa upajay, hor mati na kai ram, antar bahir ek tu ape deh bujhai ram, ape deh bujhai avar na pai, गुरमुख हर रस चाखिया दर साचे सदा है साचा साचे सबद सुभाखिया कर मह निज घर पाया सतगुर दे वडियाई नानक जो नाम रते सही महल पायन mat parwan sach sai. So here the Satgur de Vadiyai, it's the Satgur, the Guru, the mentor, the guide, the teacher who will show you how to navigate your way inward. So the Guru says, whatever true wisdom arises comes from within, from divine will, which is within. No other intellectual source, Hor Matanakai, nor should you rely on any other source other than the self within. Because this is wisdom. This is intuitive awareness that nobody else but you can give yourself. The divine is present inside and outside the self, antarbar ekatu, in everything. And so we require its grace. When we say we require its grace, essentially what we mean is we require knowledge. And true realization of this divine truth within comes through that knowledge, through the Gur wisdom. And eternal is that truth. And its abode is eternal. So there is a timeless, spaceless point that you understand through the Guru's word, through Sabad, Sache Sabad Subhakhya. So the deepest realization is found within. Kar main nij ghar paya. And the Guru's grace leads one to this inner home of divine awareness, Satguru Devadiyai. That is how you become immersed in that sanctuary within, and that is what protects you from all the external conflict, the fire of desires and conflict that you see, that you are surrounded by. How do you navigate this? That is how you navigate it. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.